Welcome, focused learners, to this interactive explainer. Today, we are totally transforming your space into a dynamic language lab. We're going to master French vocabulary for athletics, describing athletes, and setting the environmental scene. But hey, here's the catch. This isn't just about sitting back and listening. No way. We are going to be actively practicing pronunciation together. I'll be guiding you through these concepts, giving you the authentic native French pronunciation for every single phrase, and you are going to practice saying them out loud right along with me. So, are you ready to get those vocal cords warmed up? Let's get started. So, tu es sportif? Or if you're speaking to a female, tu es sportive? Basically, are you sporty or do you play sports? But before we answer that, let's establish our ground rules for this explainer. Whenever we hit a new phrase, I'm going to cue the authentic French accent. I really want you to listen closely to the melody and the rhythm of the words. Then I'll give you a brief pause. During that pause, it's your job to repeat the phrase out loud, matching that accent as closely as you literally can. Deal? All right, let's try this first one. Listen closely. Tu es sportif? Tu es sportive? Excellent!
Okay, let's dive into Section 1. Playing the games. Master the core sports vocabulary. Our foundational building block here is je joue, meaning I play. Listen and repeat. Je joue. Perfect.
Starting right on the court. Now, in French, we actually don't say the full word basketball. We shorten it. And notice the preposition au right before it, which kind of sounds like an English O. So the phrase is je joue au basket. Listen to the native pronunciation and pay attention to how crisp that T is at the very end. Your turn. Je joue au basket. Great job. Let's keep that energy up.
Moving over to the soccer pitch, or football, as it's known in basically most of the world. The French actually adopt the English word here, but they give it a distinctly French flair, often shortening it to simply foot. Listen to the vowels here. Listen and repeat. Je joue au football. And the short version? Je joue au foot. Fantastic. Notice how your lips kind of have to round a bit more for that foot sound?
Moving on to a massively popular sport in France, rugby. Now, the spelling is completely identical to English, but watch out, this is a literal pronunciation trap. You cannot say it the English way. You got to engage that French R at the back of the throat and the French U, which is super tight. Listen closely to the native accent. Je joue au rugby. Okay, now you try it. Push that R sound. Je joue au rugby. Brilliant.
Next up is hockey. Kind of like rugby, we're using an English word but applying French phonetics. The H in French is silent and the emphasis shifts just a bit. It's not hockey, it's okay. Let's put it together with our base phrase. Listen and repeat out loud. Je joue au hockey. Very good. Keeping that call and response rhythm going is what really locks this into your memory.
You guys are making absolutely great progress. Now let's step onto the tennis court. It's a really easy word to recognize, but pay attention to the cadence. The French tennis has a very sharp, clear is sound at the end. Let's hear it. Listen and repeat. Je joue au tennis. Perfect. Honestly, you're sounding like a local already.
And for our final major sport in this sequence, volleyball. This is a much longer word, so we need to carry that je joue au smoothly right into it. Listen to the native speaker flow through the whole sentence. Je joue au volleyball. Your turn. Say it out loud. Je joue au volleyball. Excellent work.
Now, what's really interesting about this next part, as we step away from the athletic fields and into cafes and parks, is how our little connecting words actually change depending on the game. I'm going to rapid fire these, so stay with me. For pool, listen and repeat au billard. For the classic French game of boules, we have two options. Repeat after me, à la pétanque, or aux boules. For cards, repeat aux cartes. And finally, for chess, note how the X links to the vowel. Repeat aux échecs. Fantastic job navigating those tricky variations.
All right, Section 2. Describing yourself. Expressing your athletic level. We've totally mastered what we play, so now let's express your personal athletic level. This right here is the absolute core of French self-description. First, we have the positive, I am. Then the negative, I am not. The French negative is kind of like a sandwich. The ne and the pas just surround the verb. Let's lock in the pronunciation of these two opposing building blocks. First, the positive. Listen and repeat. Je suis. Now, the negative. Listen carefully to the rhythm. Je ne suis pas.
Actually, let's do that negative one more time. It's absolutely crucial. Je ne suis pas. Great. Now we get to combine our I am, or I am not, with some new modifiers to get super specific. We have assez, meaning quite, and très, meaning very. And remember from the very beginning of the explainer, sporty changes depending on whether you're describing a male or a female. Let's practice. If you want to say, I am very sporty, as a masculine speaker, listen and repeat. Je suis très sportif. And the feminine version, I am quite sporty. Listen and repeat. Je suis assez sportive. Notice that strong V sound at the end of sportive? Excellent.
Moving right along to section 3. What are they wearing? Describing other athletes. We know how to talk about ourselves now, so let's shift our focus outward to describe others. You know, every good description sets a scene. The phrase il y a means there is or there are. It's an incredibly useful everyday phrase. Let's practice introducing the people in our scene. First, there is a boy. Listen to how the words just link right together. Il y a un garçon. Now your turn. Il y a un garçon. And now, there is a girl. Listen and repeat. Il y a une fille. Wonderful. The scene is officially set.
We previously learned je joue for I play, while to describe someone else playing, we say il joue for he is playing, or elle joue for she's playing. The crazy thing is, the verb sounds exactly the same. Let's practice these third-person forms. For he plays, repeat il joue. For she plays, repeat elle joue. Easy enough, right?
Now let's talk about their clothing. The verb for wearing is porter. Take shorts, for example. It looks just like the English word, but of course we've got to give it the French pronunciation. The R comes from the back of the throat, and we drop the S sound entirely. Let's try the full phrase. He is wearing shorts. Listen and repeat. Il porte un short. Try it one more time, really nailing that word short. Il porte un short. Spot on.
Let's finish up the outfit. We have two types of headwear here. Actually, it's really important to know the distinction between them. A chapeau is a general hat, like maybe a sun hat or a winter hat. Une casquette is specifically a baseball cap, which athletes obviously wear a lot. Let's do a call and response for both. She is wearing a hat. Repeat. Elle porte un chapeau. And now, she is wearing a cap. Repeat. Elle porte une casquette. Fantastic pronunciation. You are really getting the hang of these French vowels.
Let's move to section 4, setting the scene, and see how this builds the environment around the game. We've got the athletes and the sports. Now it's time to set the actual environment around them.
A great place to start describing an outdoor scene is just looking straight up. Le ciel is the sky. It can be bleu, which is blue, or gris, which is gray. Listen to the native accent for these colors. Let's say, the sky is blue. Repeat out loud. Le ciel est bleu. And if it's a cloudy day, the sky is gray. Repeat, le ciel est gris. Great. Notice that the S at the end of gris is completely silent. Let's complete our environmental building blocks. We're bringing back our trusty phrase il y a, meaning there is or there are. Let's run through these three surrounding elements rapidly. Listen and repeat after each one. There is a building. Il y a un bâtiment. There is a house. Il y a une maison. There are some trees. Notice the Z sound linking the words here. Listen closely. Il y a des arbres. Let's try that last one again, because it's tricky. Il y a des arbres. Outstanding.
And here we are, section 5, final phrase review, putting it all together. All right, focus learners. This is the exact moment we've been training for. It's time to synthesize our building blocks and put the whole thing together on the field.
And this brilliantly illustrates everything we've achieved today. By simply combining the simple phrases we just learned, we've created a complete, descriptive, really cinematic narrative in French. I want you to read the entire French sequence out loud right now, flowing directly from one sentence to the next. I'll cue the native voice one last time, and you speak right along with it. Ready? Go.
Il y a un garçon. Il joue au rugby. Il porte un short. Le ciel est bleu.
Amazing. You just described a whole scene flawlessly in French. That brings us to the very end of our practice session. Qu'est-ce que tu joues aujourd'hui? What are you playing today? Take these phrases and use them in your daily life. State out loud what sport you're playing today. But remember, the vocabulary we learned today is just a drop in the ocean of the French language. So what other worlds could you unlock if you mastered the rest of it? Until next time, keep learning, keep explaining, and have a great game.